In the prior video, we discussed how you can use the Torque Visual Studio Code extension when working with your repo. Now we're going to go ahead and take that a step further and actually show you the process of what it looks like if I make a change right in my repo and I have it connected to Azure pipeline. How does that sandbox get deployed? Right? So first we're going to start right here with our repo. As you can see here, we have our standard format in the repo with our blueprints, our applications folder. There's other folders in here, but we're going to be focusing primarily on the blueprints and applications one. We have the project pivot, all AWS YAML, which go ahead and specifies the actual applications that are going to go ahead and be deployed. We're going to deploy the application promotions manager in the promotions manager API with a MongoDB. As a prior video, if I want to look into this one, I'll just do Control Enter, and that can take me directly into my application YAML. Now, if I go down here and I expand a little bit here, you'll see Source Promotions Manager. This source is actually what has the information of the application itself. I have my Azure Pipeline YAML here, in which we're going through the process of just building the artifacts, publishing the artifacts. After that, we have also a step to publish it to S3. I want my artifacts to be published there because in the sandbox that I'm going to be deploying, in this specific Torque sandbox plugin that we have here, I'm going to go ahead and actually deploy this new application with the latest artifacts. And this is our Torque plugin. It supports right now Azure DevOps pipelines, among other CI/CD tools out there. So if I go here and I go to my source, I'm looking for a component specifically. I just want to demonstrate a small change, which is just changing a sign up section. The application at the bottom does have a sign up section that I want to go ahead and change. So right now we have this background color. If my memory serves me right, that is gray. I'm actually going to go ahead and look for color hex. We're going to go with this color. Might not look too good with the application, but it gives us a baseline. Going down here, I'm going to go ahead and save it. Copy paste. We're going to go ahead and save it. Now this repo that I'm running, as I mentioned, it is connected to an Azure pipeline, and I have it set. The triggers at the moment I do any type of change, the pipeline kicks off and builds the application. So I'm going to change background color, sign up, commit the change, and let's go ahead and push the change. If I go now to my repo and I go to sources, promotions manager, you see 11 seconds ago, promotions manager UI, I'll do the source, I'll do my component again, home component.js, you'll see that my sign up section changed. Now, since I have that trigger, if I go to my pipeline now in Azure DevOps, I should be seeing this pipeline kicking off. And indeed it is. This is now going to go through the process of building it. As you can see, it's going to install the dependencies, the dev dependencies, run the tests, publish the results, then publish actually the artifacts or upload the artifacts to S3. And this right here, Start Sandbox, is the Torque plugin that'll actually go ahead and then start deploying the sandbox with the latest artifacts. If I go here to Torque, this is the general Torque UI. I have my sandboxes, I have my space, I can have multiple spaces. Right now I'm working out a project pivot, and if you see here I have these two blueprints that have been published. I can control what can and cannot be published. So right now I have the project pivot all AWS, which is the one that we're going to be deploying via the pipeline. We also have an working example of deploying to EKS. We can do the same thing with AKS, if we're talking specifically with Azure. And I'll go ahead and see where my pipeline is now running. So it's now building the React app. This specific piece now will take pretty quickly to the process. In the UI itself, once the sandbox is deployed, I will get an email letting me know, hey, FYI, your Torque sandbox has been successfully deployed. I can log in from there. Or I can go ahead and just wait for the sandbox to pop up. Right now, there's nothing. I can always see the other ones, but as you can see, as I was saying that, the moment I said that, the ADO pipeline React sandbox is now being published. So if I go to my pipeline, it should be in the start sandbox. It is. It's going to go through the process. As you can see, we have these 3 applications that I mentioned. Response OK, all-in-one deployment of our promotions manager. So now it's going to start the process. It's a couple of stages, right? At first, it's going to go ahead and create the infrastructure that is needed for this application. After that, it's going to prepare the artifacts. So it's going to go ahead and grab the artifacts that I've set. And if I go to my settings and I go to my integrations, I'll have this artifact set right here, which is the artifact repo promotion app, which is what the pipeline is actually uploading the latest artifacts to. So Torque is going to go ahead and grab those latest artifacts on this S3 bucket. We can leverage Azure, or we can leverage also JFrog. And then once that's complete, it's going to actually deploy the application on top of this infrastructure. And as the last step, it's going to go ahead and verify the environment. Basically, it's going to do a health check to make sure we're getting a response, that the load balancer is responding back correctly with the latest information that we have. With that being said, I will go ahead and pause for this moment while the application deploys, and I will be right back. All right, welcome back. Looking at the pipeline, as you can see, it did complete. All good. Green check marks means always good. And if I go into Torque, I will see that indeed ADO pipeline React is complete. It is active. I can always click on troubleshooting if something went on, turn on Bastion, and then from here, able to SSH. If I look into my summary, AWS2 the name, the input parameters, artifact says none because that's being deployed automatically. So if I now click on this load balancer that's generated as part of the deployment, I see Promotions Manager. I see that, and I should expect my little change of color down here. As you can see, it is complete.